Effort at stabilizing the polity in the face of raging insecurity and a tension-packed, soaked election still continue, and will bring you another edition of our program, Violence Free World. My name is Callivision. Welcome to the program. My guest on the program today is someone you will always love to listen to. I'm referring to no other than His Excellency, Senator Mohammed Adamu Aliero, former Minister of the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja here, and a two-time governor of Kebbi State. Excellency, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're going to continue with the conversation right after this. Don't go away.
Nigeria is regarded as the most populous black nation in the world. This West African country has a population of about 200 million people, and its citizens, who are multi-ethnic and multilingual, practice mostly Islam and Christianity. This former British colony is ranked as the sixth largest producer of crude oil in the world, just as it is rich in agriculture and solid minerals. Nigeria's journey to nationhood, like many others, has been characterized by good and bad incidents. A peep at our route to nationhood points at the 1966 coup as the most dramatic incident. It led to the Civil War of 1967. Where millions of lives were lost and properties worth billions destroyed. While efforts at genuine reconciliation have continued, terror merchants with motives that are political, religious, and monetary have for a considerable while continued to visit mayhem on the citizens. The hallmarks of the present terror adventure are the insurgency in the northeast of Nigeria, the banditry in the northwest, herdsman crisis in the north-central and southwest Nigeria, and most recently, the Southeast is beginning to experience what looks like the Borno-based insurgency in its nascence. Violence has therefore become a common denominator across Nigeria. Fear is palpable. Many citizens are beginning to wonder if the situation is hopeless. The reality, however, in certain parts of Nigeria elicits hope. Many analysts will readily cite the calm in the Niger Delta region after a near-total war and the reversal in status in Kogi State as a former Boko Haram training and IED-making haven as strong pointers that the reign of terror is surmountable. Efforts at restoring peace in Nigeria have been championed by many patriots on different fronts. The late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua is particularly still revered for his efforts at ending militancy in the Niger Delta region.
I and my people, we accept the amnesty.
In the same vein, the late Lieutenant Colonel Abu Ali's memory will remain indelible in the hearts of Nigerians for leading his battalion to fight the Boko Haram in the northeast.
Welcome back. Excellency, let's dive into the conversation. Elections are over and the government is almost completely constituted, who's hoping to be even your friend. Now, the tension seemed like refusing to go down, and a whole lot of bickering is still going back and forth. How would you rather that we move on now with even the tribunals giving verdicts and everything closed?
Well, In every contest, there is a winner and there is also a loser. Particularly in liberal democracy like ours. And a good politician should always prepare his mind that if he loses, let him accept the defeat in good faith. And if he wins, let him also accept the victory in good faith. There are laid down procedures for seeking redress if you feel dissatisfied with the election result. The courts are there. For the governorship, you are free to go and challenge the election result at the election petition tribunal. If the verdict given is not in your favor, if you are dissatisfied with it, you can still appeal to the Court of Appeal. Still, if the judgment is delivered and you are not comfortable, you are not free with it, you are not in agreement with that judgment, you can still have another avenue of ventilating your anger. You can go to the Supreme Court of Nigeria, where at least 5 justices of the Supreme Court will sit and look at what happened right from the tribunal level up to the Court of Appeal level. And then they will do justice to your case. So to me, any politician that disagree with this laid down procedure is not a good politician, in the sense that the law is there. And without law, you will not even be able to contest. So there is no point going outside the court procedure, the court process rather, to seek for redress. What are you going to do? Are you going to incite people for violence? Are you going to call for cancellation of the election after it has been declared by INEC, after the first court has declared that election free and fair, and even the third court has done so, and finally the appeals court has done so? I think it will be improper.
One thing of worry for me here now, I know too that, or rather, I'm curious to know. President Bola Tinubu is your friend. I know that much. You've been acquaintances for some time. I know even while he was not in power, you were governors at the same time, I believe. So now, how are you able to? You're of a different political party now. You used to be in the same party. You're in the PDP. He's in the APC. How are you able to balance your friendship, balance the loyalty to your party in all of this? How have you struck the balance?
My friendship with President Bola Tinubu is still there. It is even being strengthened, no doubt about that. Despite the fact that I'm in a different party, even though we were in the same party with him, it was the injustice meted out to myself and my supporters in Kebbi that made us to move out of APC and contest under PDP. And I thank God that we were able to contest and win and even defeat the incumbent governor who thought he was the alpha and the omega of Kebbi politics. And we don't hold any grudges against anybody.
You're getting on very well.
All thanks go to the Almighty Allah who made it possible for us to win. And win not only at the election level, we are also able to win at both at the tribunal level and also at the Court of Appeal level. Because we were challenged up to the end. We thank God we made it. And we hold no grudges against anybody. What has happened has happened. And we put it behind us. And that's how politics should be done. There should be no bitterness. There should be no acrimony. to us, life goes on normal.
Where I congratulate you for that victory. Inclusiveness has always been mentioned as a key part to achieving unity for our country, especially in Nigeria. How do you think President Tinubu's presidency is handling this, especially with people beginning to complain already about skewed appointments, one-sidedness here and there? Do you think he's on the right path? Just yet?
I think it's good to complain if you feel the appointment made lopsided. Mr. President will look at it and do the needful. Quite honestly, some of these complaints are genuine. I look at some of them and I know perhaps Mr. President was not properly informed. Otherwise, I know him to be a very fair-minded person. He is somebody that has the unity and happiness of the country at heart. He will not do anything to he will not do anything to put one ethnic group or one geopolitical zone at advantage against others. However, where it is done, good advisors will always call his attention to it, and I think he will listen and do what is right. What we want is peace, what we want is stability, what we want is progress and happiness for Nigeria. Appointments is one thing, but what the use of appointment if it will not bring any dividend of democracy to the people? What is the use of appointment if it will not improve the living condition of the people? Once the people are not happy, you can hardly stop them from going into violence. Once there is poverty, serious poverty in the land, and there is insecurity, these are the burning issues. Regardless of whoever is appointed, if these people can come and confront the challenges facing the nation head on, I think nobody will complain of lopsidedness of appointment. We saw it during Buhari's administration. All the service chiefs were virtually from the north, I think only one. People were complaining. So now that Tinubu is in power, the same complaint continues to resonate. But to me, what is important is not the appointment, but rather the delivery of dividends of democracy. To what extent can the security agents secure Nigeria? If it is the issue of food, those that are appointed to be in charge of the Ministry of Agriculture and the other related agencies that are in charge of agricultural production, to what extent can they improve food production in the country so that this country can be self-reliant and be secured in terms of food security?
Well, now
these are the issues that I think should concern Nigerians.
Okay, now that you mentioned security.
If it's corruption, the same thing. Whoever you appoint to be in charge of EFCC or ICPC, to what extent can they come up with strategies that will minimize corruption in Nigeria? You cannot completely eliminate corruption. There is no country in the world where corruption is not there. No country that is corruption-free. The issue is that of degree. Our own has reached a level where it has to come down. It is seriously affecting our development. It's seriously affecting our stability. The young ones are looking at us that we, the politicians, are not doing anything. It's time for us to take measures that will stem the tide of corruption in Nigeria.
Excellency, let's touch briefly, now that you even touched on this issue of insecurity. The Senate, as it presently is, has, interestingly, 3 former governors from a region that is heavily affected by insecurity. 23 local governments presently destabilized. I'm referring to Kebbi State, I'm referring to Zamfara State, I'm referring to Sokoto State. And we have 3 former governors as senators presently. I'm referring to Abdulaziz Yari, your very self, and of course Aminu Tambua here.
You forgot Wamako.
Wamako, yes, that's even an extra. I'm just picking one per state, that kind of stuff. You have all of this here, and Dogo Gide even lives in that area, a warlord or that kind of. I don't know how this worries you. You've passed a lot of legislations previously to try and address this issue of insecurity. There's so much heavyweight as far as politicians and power and influence is concerned. Why is this situation raging in the Northwest, particularly with regard to these 3 states I mentioned?
Thank you for asking this question. It is so pertinent to all of us that we are worried and concerned about the insecurity situation in the Northwest in particular and Nigeria in general. Formerly, it was limited to Zamfara, and within a very short period of time, it spread to Katsina, and suddenly it came to Sokoto, and from there, it moved to Kebbi State. As I'm talking to you now, kidnapping, abductions, and killing is so common in Zamfara, in Sokoto, and also in Kebbi. It is true 3 of us are there, but security matter is not something you can discuss in the press. We are doing everything possible to ensure that the zone is violent-free. We are in touch with all the security chiefs in the country.
What about your governors presently?
Well, the governors, they are also trying because they are the chief security officers of the state. We in the National Assembly and by the grace of God, we are senators, we are also complementing their effort by assisting them to see whoever it is to be seen in case they are abusing in their respective states. We go there and complain. We map out strategies and go and discuss with the service chiefs. We have been doing that, not once, not twice. And I thank God that we have started seeing some results. There were 3 operations that were carried out in Kebbi, in Zamfara, and even in Sokoto. And a large number of bandits were eliminated. We are very happy with that. And we want the service chiefs to continue this kind of operations. And at times it should be held simultaneously. Because if you operate in Zamfara without operating in Kebbi, they will move from Zamfara to Kebbi. The moment they hear sounds of aircraft, they will start moving with their motorcycles. You know, they move in motorcycles. And at times, 150 of them will be moving. 50 motorcycles carrying 3 people each. And each one of them is heavily armed with AK-47 rifle. So I know on 3 occasions they were intercepted and they were neutralized. And we're happy with what the security agents have done. If this thing continues persistently, honestly, it will be a thing of the past within the next 3 to 4 months.
Excellency, you eliminate a lot of bandits, kidnappers, then the very next moment, many more are radicalized because of their impoverished state or because of a lack of education and all of these things happening around. I don't know how that worries you too, because it doesn't seem like it's something that wants to go. You have eliminated so many already. So many people have been eliminated. I'm referring to the bad guys, but there's increased radicalization. So many more of them are coming into the stuff. Right?
No, I disagree with you in this aspect, because the number of people that have been eliminated has significantly affected the peace and stability of the areas I'm talking about. The issue of radicalization, those of them that are already in this bad business of banditry, you can hardly stop them, no matter what you do. So, to me, the best way out is to go and eliminate them. Government has made several offers to them. They have been invited to embrace peace. They have been invited to hand over their arms. Those that have cooperated and handed over their arms, they have been integrated to the society.
There's amnesty.
They have been de-radicalized and they have been rehabilitated. And I think some state government have even given them some means of livelihood. Those that are farmers, they have been given land, they were assisted to go and start normal life. Those of them that are rearing animals, state government has bought some cows for them to go and continue rearing. And they have embraced peace. They are no longer in banditry. They are integrated in the society and they have become normal members of the society and they are interacting. And I know quite a number of them.
It's a gradual process towards attaining the peace that you want.
It is going to be a gradual process.
A gradual
it can't
process.
be a once for all thing. It will take time to really mature.
Can we take it as Senator Aliero is satisfied at the pace of which this?
No, I'm not satisfied. I even want to see a lot of progress. I want to see a lot of progress in the elimination of the bandits. I want to see a lot of progress in the area of rehabilitating them. First of all, you have to de-radicalize them, just like what the Boko Haram in Northeast has undergone through. Many people have dropped arms that are in Boko Haram and they have embraced peace. The state government has resettled them. The SSS have come to do what you can call de-radicalization, and they are now integrated into society.
Well, there's few more things we're going to come back and talk to before the round of the program. This is Violence Free World. I've been speaking with Senator Adamu Aliero. I will be right back after this time. Don't go away. Welcome back. Excellency, just before we went on break, we were talking about the sensitivity of people to, especially of the administrators, to what it is that the Nigerians are going through. That's been up and about. Over bloated cost of governance is quite an issue. One of the things that seem not to be helping matters. In the way the government is constituted presently, the present philosophy, present attitude of government presently, would you say we're helping that cause? Now, the way it is, cost of governance, how worried are you as far as this is concerned?
Quite honestly, I must admit that the cost of government is very, very high. Unfortunately, that is the nature of government we have adopted. Presidential democracy is very, very expensive. Some people are even of the opinion that we should go back to parliamentary democracy, where members of parliament are ministers. They will leave the parliament to go and do their parliamentary work, and then they go back after they finish with their work in the ministry. And the retinue of aides attached to every minister are too many. The same thing with governors. You are executive governor of the state, you appoint 200, 300, 400 aides. For what? Under normal circumstances, no state should have more than 10 ministries. But you see, some states are having up to about 25 ministries. To me, it is large and cumbersome. And it's a waste of public fund. What is going to be used for development, for projects, what is going to be used to give education, water supply, hospitals, electricity, roads, all is being diverted to funding these aids that do not contribute much. We are governors. We don't used to have this kind of large retinue of officials. And the same thing with ministers too. You are limited to about 2 or 3 aides. You find some ministers appointing out of about 7, some out to 8. And if you ask them, they will tell you they are sourcing their money from an NGO. What kind of NGO? It is not true. It is a ministry that is paying. And I think Office of the AGF and Office of the President should look into this. Any minister that is exceeding the number of aides allotted to him should be asked to go. He is not working in tune with President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Let him find his way. If he wants to work with retinue officials, let him go and set up his own empire and let him go and work. So I'm for reduced cost of governance because I believe that is the way to go. With our meager resources, we can't afford to waste funds.